And welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska. Now we move to the Class B Girls State Championship matchup. It'll be the Lexington Minute Maids and the Alliance Bulldogs. For the introductions, we go to Craig Carver.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation Class B Girls State Finals. Today's match features the Lexington Minute Maids and the Alliance Bulldogs. Now let's meet the Minute Maids from Lexington High School. A freshman, Shay Reiners. Sophomore, Alicia Lux. Sophomore, Kayla Reinertson. Sophomore, Michelle Miller. Sophomore, Trisha Rickle. And a senior, Brooke Spooler. Your head coach, Vicky Spooler. And assistants, Dave Freed and Frank McGinna. And now for the Bulldogs from Alliance High School, a junior, Tara Greiser. Senior, Katie Patrick. Junior, Natalie McCune. Junior, Lindley Crawford. Junior, Bridget Sherbar. Junior, Nicole McCune. And a sophomore, Taylor Kinzer. The head coach for Alliance, Pam Lavelle. And assistants, Nancy Johnston and Gary Lavelle. Ladies, good luck and good bowling.
So there are your teams in the girls' Class B State Championship matchup. We will be back momentarily and we'll get things going for the girls' Class B State Championship. Stay with us.
I always tell people it's one of the most amazing wildlife experiences that they'll ever have.
You can look up in the sky and every single square inch of the sky above you will have a crane in it.
I've studied hundreds of species of birds, really, but just the thought of seeing the cranes in the spring, I can hardly wait.
Coming in March to NET1.
This is Terry Gross, the host of Fresh Air on NET Radio. I'll be speaking in Lincoln on April 10th at Pershing Auditorium. It's a benefit for NET Radio and Television. For tickets, call 402-441-7766.
Let's go, faster!
We're just the kids next door that have a calling.
Being a Marine isn't just a job. It's a state of mind.
Let's go.
We're warriors. That's what we do.
Why are you walking?
Marines run to the sound of the guns.
A look at the distinctive culture of the Marine Corps.
If you do something wrong to the country, we're the last people you want to see coming at your door.
Marines know that what they do is a brutal business, but they never lose their humanity.
Wednesday night at 8 Central Time on NET1.
Save this Tuesday for science.
We've been able to reconstruct migration.
And suspicion.
I don't always take the government at its word.
For surprises.
We didn't find what we thought we would find.
And secrets.
That's the nature of government. They don't want you to know.
Save your Tuesday for Nova and Frontline. Starting Tuesday night at 7. America's Stone Age Explorers and News War.
Welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes and the girls' Class B State Championship. The Lexington Minute Maids and the Alliance Bulldogs getting set to do battle for the state title. Lexington Minute Maids lineup. Vicki Spooler, the head coach. She's been there for 15 years coaching. Dave Fred, Frank McGinna are your two assistants. Kayla Reinertson, Michelle Miller, Alicia Lux, Trisha Rickle, Brooke Spooler, and Shay Reiners also round out that lineup for the Minute Maids. And for the Alliance Bulldogs, looks like this. Bridget Sherbarth, Katie Patrick, Lindley Crawford, Natalie and Nicole McCune, Tara Greiser, and Taylor Kinzer. A junior underclass-laden team for the Alliance Bulldogs.
You got some crazies already in the crowd, Larry.
See that. The face painted and
nothing better than bowling chicks. Well, I tell you, this is Lexington was here last year. They finished as a runner-up last year in Class B, and you're going to see a whole other level here as we now go to 5-member teams.
This Bridget Sherbarth with a shot there.
Class A and Class B and Baker Bowling use 5-member teams, so a little more crowded in the settee area, a little more noise. You're going to see the energy level of everybody take a notch up.
And now Sherbarth to try to convert on that 9-pin that she left. She's a junior, averages 151, a high game of 193, and just slides it by that 9-pin. Alliance and Lexington have been here before. Lexington finishing third back in 2006, and a nice spare conversion by Kayla Reinertson, the sophomore. Alliance, led by Pam Lovell. They were the state champs in 2004 and 2005, so they know what it's like to be here at Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, competing for a state championship. Good ball there, just a ringing 10, but a nice shot.
One of the strongest youth bowling hotbeds in the state of Nebraska, all the way out west at Alliance, and Nancy Johnson and Pam Lovell have done a fantastic job with their youth bowling programs for a long time in Alliance. Produced some great state champion bowlers through USBC youth programs. That was a great shot there by Michelle Miller. Just didn't have the 5-pin get over towards the 7-pin enough to take it out.
Lindley Crawford opens, the second open in a row for the Alliance Bulldogs, shaking off some early jitters.
She is. Cross lane at the 7-pin. That's how to do it.
And the second spare in a row for the Minute Maids, led by Vicki Spooler. Also assisted by Dave Fred, one of the commissioners of the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. And a Brooklyn strike for Alliance to try to get things going. Taylor Kinzer with the strike. Alicia Lux, all conference, all district for Lexington. A lot of skid no hook there for Alicia.
Lanes are freshly reconditioned before this match, so starting over on a fresh pattern. Natalie McCune now made me promise to say her name right on television. She was very adamant about that.
Did you promise?
I did. Great shot. There was a great professional bowler back in the 70s named Don McCune. His son Eugene McCune is a star on the PBA Tour now. I don't think there's any relation, but she's got the fiery competitiveness of Eugene and Don McCune. 5-7 spare here for Natalie, and she's going to have to slide the 5 over into the 7.
And she goes after the 7.
Just making sure it won. Yep. Not a bad strategy early in the first game.
And now this is Trisha Rickle. And Rickle with the carry. Slides that 5-pin right into the 7 and clears the deck. Now this is the twin sister of Natalie McCune, Nicole McCune. She made sure that I pronounced her name right.
Could have been Natalie or Nicole.
Natalie and Nicole are twins. Both lead this squad. One with high game of 248, the other high 245.
Great shot. Right up the second arrow, direct at the pocket. That was very, very good. This is going to be quite the match.
And Nicole covers the spare.
You know, Larry, we've been talking about how, you know, this is an athletic competition. We're talking about how everybody's grade point average. Nicole with a 4.09. So it's just great to see these girls being great academic students and having a good time. They're switching sides now after the 5th frame in Baker Bowling. You switch lanes. So the Lexington Minute Maids will be on the left-hand lane.
And that goes just Brooklyn. She leaves a 3-6-10. Some work left to do there.
Lexington with about a 28-pin advantage through 4, so it's time for the Alliance ladies to get it in gear.
And now Sherbarth, and she can't get that 10 tripped out of there.
It's a good shot in the pocket. Leaves the 10. No reason to panic. Just got to get your thoughts in order and pick up the spare.
Had a good cover by Kayla Reinertson. Now Bridget Sherbarth said something that I thought all coaches should know across the state. She says, when asked who has influenced her the most, she said, my coach, because I know she believes in me.
That's fantastic. That one of the nice things about a smaller sport like bowling is that you have the great relationships between the coaches and the kids. A lot of these coaches have been youth bowling coaches in their respective communities for years, so watching them grow up and grow through the high school ranks.
Now to Lindley Crawford. She crosses over and leaves the 6-pin. Now the other lane, Michelle Miller. Self-proclaimed, and team calls her the team clown. She covers that up.
Yeah, the look of seriousness there on her face when she let go of that.
Back in her junior days, Lindley Crawford was a Class B all-events champ, and she covers that spare there. So Lexington still with that lead that they grabbed early on. Alliance opened the first 2 frames. Lexington marked both of the early 2 frames, and Lex holds on to that lead.
Just a little fast there on lane 27.
Now Taylor Kinzer. And she pulled that just a bit. Sometimes you get just a little quick, as you just mentioned.
Yeah, she stood up at the line. By standing up at the line when you released the ball, she came out of her slide, more or less straightened her body and knees up. By doing that, you're going to pull the ball across your body, and if you're right-handed, you're going to pull it to the left side. She needs to throw this just as she would her strike shot. She stayed down on that better. Just didn't get it far enough to the right.
So Lexington opening up that lead. 5 straight marks by Lexington. And Rickle leaves the 4.
Sorry, Larry. Trish is a 4.0 student, and she would like to be a model when she gets out of school. She's a very beautiful young lady and throws the ball fantastic. Great form, straight up the second arrow at her strike shot. She's going to go across lane at the 4-pin now. Good form. Right at it. Well done.
Nice shot and a nice cover by Trisha Rickle. All conference and all district for Lexington. And now here's Natalie McCune. I liked what Natalie put on her questionnaire. She said, I have a pretty sweet personality.
Well, she competes in softball, track, singing, and dancing. So, you know, as you get into high school bowling, especially in some of the smaller communities, you're going to see a lot of kids do different sports. But one of the great things, Larry, is statewide, through different polls done by not only the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation, but also the Nebraska School Activities Association, is that about 80% of the kids in high school bowling in Nebraska do not participate in other sports and activities at school. So it's a great, great vehicle to get more kids involved at the high school level that may not be doing any activities.
And a nice cover there. And Lexington's lead from early on will hold up. They are in command and will win here in game number 1, 166 through the 9th frame. With that mark in the 10th. Have a possibility of shooting 186 in their opening game, and what a way to start.
That's going to be our high game of the day so far, and be in the 180s.
And one more look at Brooke Spooler.
Great shot. Leaves the weak 10, but she's lined up. She's hit the pocket now several times, and you know, you just don't want to move a whole lot if you're consistently hitting the pocket. If you're leaving some 10 pins, You may want to make a slight adjustment with your stance on the approach, maybe moving further back on the approach to get a little more roll out of your ball at the end. But if you're hitting the pockets, stay where you're at. It's a good tip for bowlers at home.
So the Lexington Minute Maids win that game number 1 with a 185. What a terrific way to start for Lexington. There's a look at Lexington Minute Maids head coach Vicki Spooler. I don't know if you noticed, those of you who know Vicki, but she's got a little bit of different hair color. Her hair changed last night. She promised her girls that if they made the state finals, that the girls could dye her hair. Now, when she told me that last night before she went home, I thought we were going to see orange hair this morning.
Well,
so I think the girls were nice to her. She's got a little bit of a different tint to her hair, but there's no orange or black. Or
didn't have to wear a hat today.
That's right.
Cover it up.
So Vicki Spooler sporting the new hairdo, or dye, as it were.
Trying to slide the 5 into the 10, and just didn't get the ball on the left side of the 5 pin soon enough. A couple last-minute coaching adjustments made by Pam Lovell from Alliance. Let's see if the Alliance girls can get going here. They look pretty tight that first game, Larry. Not a good break there.
You saw Pam look like she moved her right, trying to get a little better angle into the pocket.
Yes.
Pam's been bowling for a while, 27 years, the head coach of Alliance. She has a high game of 279, so she knows a little bit about the game. Hey, we have some great coaches in the state of Nebraska for youth bowling.
We're going to see some very well-known names in bowling coaching when we get to the boys' side here later on this afternoon. Shooting at the 6-7 for Bridget, and needs to slide the 6 over the 7, but takes the 1. Now, Alliance being down 1-0, you still have another game or two to go before you have to worry about losing. But, every little pin missed adds up at the end, and that could be the opening here now for Alliance as Lexington misses that easy spare.
Lindley Crawford. That goes Brooklyn. 3 pins still standing. Alliance and Lexington both qualified by winning last night, or yesterday afternoon, I guess it was. Alliance knocking off Ogallala 3-1, and Lexington beat Seward 3-1. And a lot of people had that Seward Blue Jay squad penciled into this state finals. What a terrific team.
Well, they do.
Seward is.
Great boys and girls program down at Seward, and they've been in a lot of state finals.
The girls were here last year and they won it last year. Expected to return. They didn't lose much off that team. Maybe just Tracy Cousins was gone, maybe a couple of other players, but they didn't lose much off that team, but came up a couple of games shy last night when Lexington knocked them off 3-1. A nice mixer there by Taylor Kinzer.
Big grin there from Taylor. She almost threw it in the left-hand gutter her first time up, but much better shot. Still needs to adjust and get over there on the right side of the head pin.
And Tricia Rickle goes to Brooklyn's side.
She's a sophomore with a 226 high game, Larry. Of course, out in Lexington, Brad Larson strike and spare bowling center. A popular place.
Natalie goes just a little high. Leaves the 4-7.
Got to convert your spares here, and that's got to slide and just gets there.
And a high five with the crowd after picking it up. And so this Natalie McCune try to convert on her
cross lane, and then see with that extra speed, she got a little fast there. That extra speed, she just needs to be more direct. And we've been saying this during the first 2 matches, that for your spare shooting, you need to be on a pattern today of bowling lanes with a lot of conditioner. You need to be more direct at your spare shooting.
Get it? It did.
Oh, my.
I'm not sure if you saw it at home, but that was a backdoor strike. The 3 hit the...
That was the 1-2-4, Larry. The 4 falls forward into the other 2.
And the crossover Brooklyn strike for Nicole McCune.
It's going to tighten things up here a little bit. Lexington with still with about a 12 pin lead.
Yep, you see it there. Through 4 frames, Lexington on top of Alliance, 56-44, with both have strikes working in the 5th. Alliance pulling out of Bullmore lanes in Alliance. That comes in a little high.
It was a good shot there. It was right on line with the pocket, but a little slower speed on that shot. And with that slower speed caused that ball to hook a little more at the end there. So with the big 4 split, take your lumps, take your 2 pins. Don't lose as much count as you can.
And Bridget Sherbarth leaves a couple. This is where you want to get 2.
See now, Larry, that will cost them.
Yep.
With a strike working, that's going to cost them a total of 4 pins in count. So 2 pins is better than 4. Yeah, that's the way you look at it in bowling. So you hope that doesn't mean the difference between winning and losing that game at the end.
Got a good cover by Bridget. Now the shot here by Michelle Miller. And Michelle with a great ball. Michelle, a high game of 225 and buried that one.
Seems like for the right-handers that are throwing resin equipment or urethane equipment that are hooking the ball a little bit, the preferred line of the pocket is going to be right between the first and the second arrow on the right-hand side. But the caveat to that is that young lady right there who, for the Alliance Bulldogs that came in and right up the middle of the lane, Alicia Lux with a big strike there to keep the match close for Alliance. Alliance +6 right now through 5. Or through 6, Larry, excuse me.
Now Taylor Kinzer struck her last time up. Comes in a little light there, leaves the 1-2. Trying to cover the 10, and Lux is on it. Alicia Lux. Taylor's just a sophomore, averaging 164, and she covers up the spare. Nice routine pickup for Taylor. And now back on the right lane on 28, Trisha Rickel. Trisha.
Good shot.
Just a little light, leaves the 5 pin.
Easy spare to cover right down the middle. All right, Alliance needs some good things to happen here with Natalie McCune. Strike here would be large and just a little too much speed, Larry.
Yep. It's that oil we had talked about in the middle of the lane, and just move right and a little more direct to the pocket.
Need to point the ball a little closer to the head pin to get the ball to drive towards the pocket.
And a good cover there by Rickel. And Natalie McCune will try to answer.
Should be your strike target for this shot. She's had trouble getting the ball up to the head pin here this whole game. You're going to need to make a move here. Strike by Lexington will put them in good shape.
Brooke Spooler.
Oh my, just got that head pin to hit the 4. The 4 almost stood back up. Instead of taking out the 7, it falls down, leaves that 7 pin only for the spare for Lexington.
And now Nicole McCune. And Alliance in danger of going down 2-0. A spare here by Brooke Spooler would put them in command. Almost lock it up. Get over there, it does. So a possibility of 156 for Lexington, and the best Alliance could do now is 149. So if this is a spare conversion by McCune and she strikes, all Lexington has to do is get 4 pins.
Looks like she pulled it, Larry, and she did. All right.
So that will hand to Lexington. So the Minute Maids go on top here after 2 games, 2-0. Here's the team leader, Brooke Spooler, the senior, averages 175. All she needed was count there, and that's what she was trying to get. So
it's good enough.
152-138 the final in that game. So Lexington wins it 152-138. You're taking a look at Pam Lovell there, the head coach of Alliance Bulldogs. As I said, she's been around 27 years, but minus one person on her bench this week. Nancy Johnston is one of her assistant coaches. Nancy Johnston, along with her husband Perry, are the proprietors in Alliance. They have Alliance Bullmore Lanes, but Nancy's not here because Perry, her husband, had a heart attack last Tuesday night, and Pam wanted to make sure we passed along to Perry and the family. They certainly miss you here, and Perry, get well soon. They all know you're at home watching and appreciate your support and wish you could be here with them. And so there it is through 2 games. Lexington leads 2-0. On the left lane, that's Kayla Reinertz. Flirts with the channel there, but got it back. Kayla Reinertson excited about her scholarship she won last year at the Star City tournament here at Sun Valley Lanes.
One of the largest high school bowling tournaments in the nation. Run here, a whole separate event, separate from the regular season of high school bowling. Top high school teams from all over the Midwest come into Lincoln for a huge tournament run by John Lucido and his staff.
Had a nice cover there by Kayla. I talked to Kayla a little earlier. She remembers her first memory was when she had an 11 average and she bowled in a Pepsi tournament. She was about 6 years old and her average was 11.
She
Boy, if we could all average our age.
Might have got a little handicap there.
If we could all average our age, we'd be doing great, right, Steve?
Yeah. Oh, that was a great shot there. There's Katie Patrick. That's her second in a row. Just right up that second arrow. And if you looked at how she did that, minimal hook right up the second arrow. The ball at the last minute hooks right in there into the 1-3 pocket. It was the great Billy Whaley back on the old PBA telecast before Nelson Burton came around. Always said straight is great.
Alicia Lux with the strike. Alicia's best memory is when the first time she ever beat her mom in bowling.
Probably
9 years old, she said.
Stuck doing the dishes.
For a few weeks.
Yep. The Alliance girls right now seem a little out of sync. You're seeing some frustration on some of their faces. Just not comfortable with the reaction to getting on the lanes.
Taylor Kinzer. Unconventional, but gets it nonetheless. So that's the first mark of this third game for Alliance. Lexington has 3 straight marks, trying to make it 4 here, and that goes just off the edge.
Just slowed down a little too much there, Larry, that caused the ball to hook a little more.
So a 30-pin lead through 3 frames for Lexington, and Lex is already up.
Hey,
2-0. But a nice shot there by Natalie.
Saw a little fist pump there. It might get him going.
And here's Brooke Spooler. Going to come in a little light. Leaves the washout.
Brooke lost that ball in the downswing. And that is a nasty washout. That is the 1, 2, 7, 8, 10. Kind of lost a little bit on the downswing there. Just ball fell off her hand just a little too quick. Caused the ball to go straight. Double.
And the McCune sisters, the twins, back-to-back strikes. And they're trying to pull Alliance back into this. Back-to-back strikes by Alliance and back-to-back opens by Lexington have pulled it almost even. Depending on count, it could be as close as a 2-pin game. And once again, at the midway point in Baker matches, you switch lanes. So the first 5 frames bowled on the right lane, then you move to the left lane, vice versa if you started on the left. Shot here by Kayla Reinertson, Brooklyn. Now Taylor Kinzer. Tough break.
Yeah, just when they got a little momentum going, Larry. 3-8 split, double wood here on the left-hand lane for Lexington.
Not an easy spare.
Yeah.
Misses it to the right.
Well, there's just virtually no chance of making this split for Bridget. So take your 2 pins and stay in the lead.
And that's just what she did. Good cover on the 2. So it's a tight one. Lexington on top by 3, 94-91 through 6 frames.
I do believe that is 3 for 3 for
Michelle Miller.
Yeah,
for Lexington.
She had 2 strikes last game. That's 3 for the last 3 for her. That's called being lined up in bowling.
And that shot by Lindley Crawford came in light. She leaves a 1-2-4. Now Crawford. Hold it just a little bit. A little bit of a tug. That's when you ball goes a little further left of your mark than you had anticipated or than you wanted it to.
Yeah, I think the girls were worried about the amount of oil in the lanes and the ball not getting up to their target. And what that's causing them to do is to over-adjust at the point of release and pulling the ball.
Through 7 frames, that puts Lexington on top by 14, working on a mark in the 9th. Important shot from Taylor Kinzer. Puts it right where it needed to be.
Big grin there from Taylor.
Boy, now Alliance needs a double. Here's Tricia Rickel, her team up by 14.
Use the 2-4-5. That's going to be a moderately difficult spare to convert. Let's see if Natalie McCune can throw her 2nd strike of the game.
She does. Doubles up for Alliance.
She said to her coach as she came back, "Coach, I finally hit my spot," meaning that she was aiming for her target on the lane. And that's a great cover there by Tricia Rickel.
Well, that's exactly what Lexington needed to do, was stay clean.
Now a double here, if Nicole McCune can come through, will tighten up the match and almost tie it up here. Great
3
shot.
in a row for Alliance.
They're not out of it yet, Larry.
That puts them back in the lead. Back up by 7. Important shot for Brooke, and she comes in a little bit light. So Alliance will be on top by the amount of pins she gets on this shot. So they're up by 5. 155 in the 9th to 150. Make it 147. A nice cover by Lexington. So it looks like they may be shut out. 155. She needs 2 pins, 3 pins. Three of these to shut out Lexington. And she does.
Good enough.
And that'll do it. So Alliance wins game number 3 with a double and a 3-bagger in that game for Alliance. They shoot 176 to 165. 176, 165. Alliance wins it.
Now, Larry, you could definitely feel the momentum switch there about halfway through that 3rd game towards Alliance.
Well, that double was big for Alliance when the McCune sisters went back-to-back in the 4th and 5th, and then they doubled again in the 9th and the 10th. And the crowd started to get into it a little bit.
I tell you, it's not the Coliseum at Nebraska during volleyball, but I tell you, it's a great atmosphere here. This is set up exactly like you'll see the PBA Tour set up, which I'll shamelessly plug will be at our Council Bluffs location coming up this next week, and the fans are right on the lanes, right down the sides. So it's a close setting and creates a lot of excitement. Gets the players pumped up. That's a great shot there. Ooh, just about made it.
2-4-5 left for Reinertsen.
All right, Alliance needs to stay on top of Lexington. They don't need to start making mistakes and giving away pins, and that was a great shot there. Brooklyn side, but it all counts.
Sherbarth with the strike.
Cross lane at the 2-4-5. Just what happened there, Larry, is she got the ball in the very center of the lane where the heaviest concentration of conditioner is. By doing that, the ball did not go into its roll or finish, as we call it in bowling, to get to those pins to pick it up. It just didn't have enough strength to get there.
Shay Reiner's now in, the freshman. Shay Reiner started bowling just this year. She had never bowled before this year. Started out the year with an 86 average. She's all the way up to above 120, so she's seeing some quick improvement. That's 3 strikes for Michelle Miller.
Well, that's 4. She
right.
she has not missed in the last two games.
Wow. So here's Shay Reiners again. The lefty trying to convert.
Same situation there. A lot of conditioner at center part of the lane. The minute that ball hits it, away it goes.
Alicia Lux.
Oh, good shot. Boy, now that's your ringing 10, Larry, right there. Ball perfectly in the 1-3 pocket. Just one of the bad breaks of bowling. They call it a tap.
Taylor Kinzer.
Taylor has resorted to just kind of taking it right down the middle, the straight and direct path.
Point and click, right?
Yep, just right down the middle, try to break up any potential splits.
And a nice cover by Lux.
A little hop and a skip there, a little body language directing that ball in there.
Lexington with a 3-pin advantage after that mark by Alliance and Kinzer. Tight 4th game here. Lexington won the first 2. Alliance came back and won game number 3. 2 games to 1 here in this best-of-5 Baker format.
All right, both the McCune girls here have been money the last 2-3 shots. Let's see if it stays in there. Just a bad break there.
Leaves a 2-10.
Yeah, that ball did not take the same path down the lane as her previous 2 did. It more or less was moving away from the pocket with not enough enough hook to recover. Leaves the 2-pin, but catches a bad break and leaves the 10 with it. So right now, Larry, she's got to go for this at this point, I think, being down by 1 game in the whole scheme of things.
Tried to kick it off the wall. That's one approach. You know what I do like is obviously Pam Lovell has got them lined up. They were struggling early, not getting it back to the pocket, but both the McCune sisters have made that move right, pointed it a little straighter, and it's a good coaching move to get them lined up.
And you saw her. She is right there giving instruction after almost every shot. The girls are having a good time, but they're being coached at the same time. Let's see if her sister Nicole can keep striking. Right there.
Great ball by Nicole McCune.
3 in a row for her now, Larry. She comes back with the game face on.
Well, both teams have their hot bowlers. Nicole McCune for Alliance, Michelle Miller for Lexington. That's Brooke Spooler who misses the spare.
Opening the door for Alliance. They're creeping back in.
A double would give them the lead. Double by Alliance could give them the lead. That's where we're at through 5 frames. Nearly even. You assume 10 on the strike, and if you assume 10, it would be 74-73. Fans getting ready, piling in, getting ready for the Class A state championship. Reinertson crosses over, leaves the 5.
Just about had the 5 and the 10 there. Caught a break.
We said before, Alliance has won this state championship 2 times before. They won it in 04 and 05. And nice spare conversion. Sherbarth covers the single pin. Now Reinertson. This spare would make it a 1-pin game, and she's got it. So we are nearly dead even. 74-73, Lexington with a 1-pin advantage as we head to the 7th. Both teams with a mark in the 6th.
And making a substitution there, that's Katie Patrick in for Alliance. National Honor Society girl, 192 high game. Coming in. It's nice that Pam's giving everybody a chance to play.
Once again, a great shot by Michelle Miller, the first time she hasn't struck in her last 5 balls, but still right in the pocket, coming just a little high, leaving the 4-pin.
Tough 3-9 spare for Katie Patrick. Ball's going to have to hook and doesn't.
Have to wonder about that substitution when you're in the middle of a match down by just 1 game, and it's such a tight game. You make a substitution in the middle and to a cold bowler who then throws an open.
A lot of different strategy coming into play. But teammate comes back
and now the shot by Alicia Lux.
Very good.
And a good ball by Alicia. So that open in the 7th frame by Alliance gives Lexington a 14-pin lead, both teams with strikes working. That's Natalie McCune in the 9th.
Larry, right here, Trisha Rickel can strike. That's going to just about sew it up for Lexington. Oh, another great shot. That's 2 4-pins she's left. She's been around the pocket the whole afternoon. 1 crossover in there, but she shot this spare now a couple of times. She can pick this up. It's still going to move them in to a position to take home the state championship.
Well, that miss there makes a 125 in the 9th.
That's
hangs on and picks up the spare, and that is just about going to do it.
Just about going to do it. That's just what I was going to say, and I think it's a matter of pin count right here. The last chance here for Alliance. You're going to need Nicole McCune to set her team up to strike out in the 10th to have any chance. There's the first one.
And there it is.
She's been money the last several times up.
Well, Brooke Spooler can end all the suspense and give Lexington a state championship with a strike right here.
Looks good, Larry. Oh, just about a bad break. Yep. Almost left the 8-pin with the 10. Simple spare here wins it for him.
No, that's it.
That's it.
Yep.
That's the count. You bet. All right. Well, it looks like Coach Spooler might be informing her of what the score really means. Another strike
well,
there.
You have to like Nicole McCune, who stepped up late knowing she needed to strike and has really been a star in the last 2 games for Alliance.
Oh, it's not going to matter, though.
I think is what she said to her. Let's get up and mark and give one other bowler a chance to get up and bowl that 10th frame and have that state experience.
That would have been nice.
She was explaining to her, but nonetheless, they win the state championship. So the Lexington Minute Maids, in 3-1 fashion, are state champs.
All right.
So congratulations to Coach Vicki Spooler and the Lexington Minute Maids. Finished 3rd in 2006. They come back in 2007, and they win the state championship in 4 games, 3-1, the final 161-152 in game number 4. We'll be back with the medal and trophy presentation in just a moment here on NET.
Brought to you in part by the Ellen and Marcia Baer Foundation and by the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation, encouraging high schools to sanction the sport of bowling across Nebraska.
Programming provided by Nebraska Public Power District. Success is achieved through commitment. Commitment is the hallmark of champions. Champions are those who never give up. The Nebraska Public Power District congratulates those individuals and teams who persevere. You are all champions. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us. Together with your local public power utility.
This program is brought to you by the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff.
Soy biodiesel is a soy-based, clean-burning, renewable fuel that can be blended with petroleum diesel to reduce America's dependence on foreign oil. Soy biodiesel, making a difference for Nebraska's soybean farmers and you.
Don't miss the 2007 Nebraska High School Swimming and Diving Championships this Saturday afternoon at noon Central Time. Watch the best live on NET1 and NET-HD, Nebraska's home for sports.
Ed Mapp grew up during the Depression.
We were poor, but we didn't neglect the things that are important. I was fortunate enough to have givers in my community. So today, I support the things in which I believe. One such thing is public television.
Ed included his public television station in his will. Consider joining the community of people who want public television to span generations.
Invest in the future. NET and Nebraska.
And welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska, where we have crowned a champion in the Class B girls competition. The Lexington Minute Maids win it over Alliance in 4 games, 3 games to 1. You see the final 161 to 152 in Game 4. Let's go to our public address announcer, Craig Carver, for the handing of the awards.
For the Alliance Bulldogs and the Lexington Minute Maids. Now the medal and trophy presentations. First, your 2007 Class B Girls State Runner-Up Alliance Bulldogs. Now coaches Nancy Johnston and Pam and Gary Lovell. Tara Greiser. Katie Patrick. Natalie McCune. Lindley Crawford. Bridget Sherbar. Nicole McCune. And Taylor Kinzer. Congratulations to your 2007 State Runner-Up Alliance Bulldogs. And now, your 2007 state champion, Lexington Minute Maids. Head coach, Vicki Spooler. And assistants, Dave Freed and Frank McGinna. Shay Reiners. Alicia Lux. Kayla Reinertson. Michelle Miller. Trisha Rickle. And Brooke Spooler. And congratulations to the 2007 Girls Class B State Champion, Lexington Minute Maids. Girls, here's your state championship trophy.
So there they are, the Lexington Minute Maids, the girls Class B state champions, led by Vicki Spooler, Dave Fred, Frank McGinna. The Lexington Minute Maids, the Class B state champs. 3 classes in the girls in the books, 1 more to go. The Class A state championship is coming up next. The Lincoln High Lynx and the Lincoln High North Star Navigators. Stay with us.
Coverage of the Nebraska State High School Bowling Championships is made possible in part by the Nebraska Public Power District, NPPD, always there when you need us. The Nebraska Soybean Board, encouraging the use of renewable biodiesel fuels for a healthier environment. For information, nesoybeans.unl.edu. And by the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation, NHSBF, promoting bowling across the state of Nebraska. To order a DVD copy of either the girls' or boys' Nebraska State High School Bowling Championships, call toll-free 800-868-1868 or visit the NET web store at netnebraska.org. Click on Shop NET.
This is NET2. Coming in March to NET1.
And welcome back to Lincoln, Nebraska, Sun Valley Lanes for the girls' Class A State High School Championship between the Lincoln High Lynx and the North Star Gators. Should be a great battle. Intra-city rivals. They both bowl here at Sun Valley Lanes. This will be a good one. Let's get the introductions from Craig.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation Girls Class A State Finals. Today's matchup features the Lincoln High Lynx and the Lincoln North Star Gators. Let's meet the Lynx from Lincoln High School, Junior Megan Foss. Junior Nicole Johnson. Sophomore Ashley Bonebright. Junior co-captain Caitlin Huggins. And the other junior co-captain Taylor Collins. Junior Christine Foreman. And the Lincoln High coaches, head coach Patty Meyer and assistant coach Sarah Russo. And now your Lincoln North Star High School Gators. Junior Chelsea Miro. Senior Tiffany Holtz. Sophomore Sierra Caldwell. Junior Sierra Shea. Sophomore Antagony Jackson. Sophomore Christy Barron. And junior Callie Steyer. And your North Star coaches, head coach Bob Corum and assistant Vicky Corum. Ladies, good luck and good bowling.
Boy, it's an electric atmosphere at Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln. The Gators and the Lynx, the battle coming up next on NET.
The Nebraska legislature is back in session, and you can see live gavel-to-gavel coverage on NET2 or by logging on to netnebraska.org. Listen weekdays to NET Radio for in-depth reports of what's making news from Nebraska's lawmakers. Watch, listen, or log on to NET and be more informed.
The amount of energy that it took to destroy this airplane, it's mind-boggling.
Next time on Frontline.
Who is leaking this information?
The high cost of the war between the White House and the press.
So you're ready to go to prison?
Well, ready is perhaps not the appropriate word.
News war. Watch Frontline.
Tuesday night at 9 Central Time on NET1.
And welcome back to Lincoln, Nebraska. Sun Valley Lanes, the Class A Girls State Championship between two teams that are very familiar with each other. And frankly, not a lot of love lost between the Lincoln High Lynx and the North Star Gators. It should be a good one today. Let's begin with a look at the lineups of the Lincoln High Lynx. Patty Meyer is the head coach. Sarah Rousseau is an assistant. Taylor Callies, Nicole Johnson, Christine Foreman, averaging 165. Caitlin Huggins, Ashley Bonebright, and Megan Foss. On the other bench, it's the North Star Gators, led by the tandem of Bob and Vicki Corum. Sierra Schaaf, averaging 146. Antigone Jackson, Christy Barron, Callie Steyer, Chelsea Miro, Tiffany Holtz, and Sierra Cadwell. Should be a good one. And the crowd is ready and into it here in Lincoln. We're about ready to get things going. In Class A, both of these teams had one bowler finish in the top 10 on the all-tournament team. For Lincoln High, it was Caitlin Huggins, and for North Star, Chelsea Miro. Lincoln High Lynx to get here, knocked off the East High Spartans and beat the Southeast Knights in the first round. And that was a big upset because Southeast, one of the better teams in the state. Starting things off for Lincoln High, Taylor Callies. He's the co-captain of this squad. And for the Navigators, Sierra Schaaf, the junior. Schaaf pulls it a bit. So we're underway in Class A. The North Star Gators to make the state finals. Knocked off the Grand Island Islanders 3-0 and the Rockets 3-0. So coming in, the Gators have not lost a match in the state finals.
Tell you what, knocking off Grand Island is a feat. Lincoln, or the Grand Island girls have had a stranglehold on Class A for several years.
Boy, kept that head down, nice solid shot, but not able to get that 10. That's a tough spare. So advantage early to the Lynx. That's the lefty Antigone Jackson. I'm sorry, Nicole Johnson. Lefty Nicole Johnson. Here's Antigone Jackson. Antigone with a high game of 240, series of 598. She won the Star City singles event. Marks that as one of the highlights of her career. Wobbles a couple, but they both stand up. Nicole Johnson, one of the most intense competitors on this Lincoln High squad.
I think everybody's still dealing with the amount of conditioner on the lanes. Just having it be a little bit slicker, more conditioner than what they were used to in qualifying. Going to take a little time for them to get used to it. That ball needs to hook, and that's one of the reasons why right there, Larry. Ball didn't get over to that 4-pin quick enough.
So chopped one off. Now Christine Foreman, a junior out of Lincoln High. Christine going straight up that 10 board. He leaves a 2-4-5. On the right lane for the Navigators, Christy Barron. Christy's the power bowler of the group and rings a 10-pin.
Good shot. Right right in that track area of the lane, around 10, 11, 12 board, and just a ringing 10. She's got to pick up her spare. Don't let that solid 10 shake her.
And a good cover for the Lynx and Foreman. Now Barron's turn. And a little hook at the back end there, and the open for the Navigators. North Star Navigators struggling out of the chute here.
Couple of lefties on that team, Larry, and you're going to see them all playing a little further outside towards the edge of the gutter than you'll see the righties. Out towards the edge of the lane, you get a little more friction. The ball will tend to come in a little harder. Right-handers will be closer to the second arrow.
Here's Callie Steyer. She's going to right up 10 as well, and she carries that 10 pin. First mark of the game for North Star. After 3 straight opens, the nerves may be being shaken off a bit.
Yes. She has stepped up.
And the shot is covered. Caitlin Huggins, the co-captain.
Watch this young lady throw the ball.
Look at the solid
Watch this.
pose at the end.
Just about. She's got probably one of the best physical games you're going to see out of all the classes of girls, and she can hold court with a lot of the guys, too, when it comes to her form and posture.
That's not a bad game either. Ashley Bonebright, the sophomore, with the strike for the Lynx. The Lynx have been here before. They were in the arena finals in 2006, the first appearance for the Navigators. Look at that solid follow through and a nice cover by Miro. Boy, you're right, Steve. She just has a solid game. If you were going to teach some kids how to bowl, you could use that video right there.
Well, Larry, you want to watch the finishing position at the foul line. You want to watch for after you release the ball and at the point of release, not falling away or stumbling away from the shot. You want to stay down, stay through the shot, improves the accuracy, just like that.
Taylor Callies.
That's a good
little
shot.
High and leaves the Greek Church.
Taylor's dad, Dave, is a great bowler from the city of Lincoln. Bowled on the Professional Bowlers Tour. Got good bowling lineage.
Yep. Member of the Lincoln Bowling Hall of Fame, Dave Callies.
This is called the Greek Church. It is the Big Four +1. It's added the 9, 4, 6.
Nice run at
7, 9, 10. You go for the 3. She did the right idea there. Take the count, move on. It's early in the match.
Now bowling in the 6th frame for the Navigators.
What you saw there, Larry, we saw earlier with hung up in the ball, just as you said. Caused you to pull the shot across your body, miss it on the left.
Nicole Johnson out near the gutter.
Yeah, she lost that one at the bottom of her swing. She was trying to wave it in there.
As we said earlier, the North Star Navigators have not lost a single game in the state championships. They swept through the first round 3-0, swept the second round 3-0 as well. They're in a fight here against their rival, the Lincoln High Lynx. I mentioned Lincoln High's been here before. They were the runners-up in not only last year in 2006, but also the runners-up in 2003 as Johnson can't convert on the spare. Lincoln High is a 2-time, 3-time district champ. Won the districts in 2003, 2004, and 2005.
Boys and girls teams at Lincoln High, a powerhouse in Lincoln.
And a nice cover by Antigone Jackson. That'll bring up Christine Foreman for the Lynx. Right up 10, pretty good shot. Didn't finish, though.
Yeah, just didn't quite catch it on the release, Larry. You didn't see the revolutions on the ball. being as strong and as many as her previous shot earlier. So the ball did not hook, went 2 straight.
Christy Barron. And she'll leave the 2-pin. So a tight game through 7. Lincoln High on top by 7, 99-92.
Shooting at the 2.57, needs to go cross lane, takes the 2 into the 7, and does.
Nice conversion by Christine Foreman, the Lincoln High junior. Puts a little pressure on Barron to mark and keep the Navigators in it. Got a hook. Nope.
Saw right at the point of release there, Larry. Her eyes went down on the lane. That's a sign that she's looking for her mark a little closer to the foul line. You want to teach the game by having your mark be out by the rangefinders, out at the arrows 15 to 18 feet out.
Caitlin Huggins, the lefty.
Be a little more accurate if you can move your mark down the lane as far as you can and still hit your mark. Your accuracy will improve in bowling.
Kaylee Steyer attends school at Raymond Central High School. They don't have a team, so through co-op, she bowls for the North Star Navigators. Nice release there. And a great shot, a ringing 10 by Steyer.
I watched her at the district finals up in Elkhorn, and she just bowled outstanding up there, and she's got great form also, very accurate bowler.
Huggins, a co-captain. And covers up the spare.
Caitlin Huggins there, you saw her go cross lane at that 4-pin. Took a little something off the ball, meaning that she didn't quite use the lift and revolutions as you would on a normal strike shot. Causes the ball to go straighter, easier to control, more accurate at your spares.
Lincoln High up 17. If North Star is going to stay in it, needs to convert the spare and didn't. So it looked like North Star will suffer its first game loss of this 2007 state championships.
Sometimes that's tough to recover from, Larry. Haven't had a taste of defeat yet. You begin to doubt yourself, but potentially 4 more games to go, so they just need to hang in there and regroup for game 2. Great shot.
And so that'll wrap it up. Lincoln High School wins this first game over the Navigators. And the Lynx take a 1-game-to-none lead as the spare is converted by Ashley Bonebright, the sophomore. Chelsea Miro. Solid on the 10-pin. It's that 45-degree angle of that knee, and the shoulders right over the top of the edge of that knee, and the release, the follow-through. It is so textbook by Miro.
Very, very good. Ashley Bonebright, too, with great form there.
Absolutely.
Very good form. If you're obviously you're watching at home, and if you want to go ahead and do this, whether you're just a recreational bowler or maybe a league player, these 2 young ladies that are the anchor bowlers for both their teams have tremendous fundamentals. Now they're out there in the lights and TV and struggling a little bit trying to find their comfort zone, but that's how you would teach it, Larry.
Well, both of these teams, Lincoln High and North Star, bowl here at Sun Valley. One of the proprietors right there is John Lucido. He's also the commissioner of the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation, and what he has done for bowling in the state of Nebraska at the high school level is unparalleled. No one else in the state has done as much for bowling as John Lucido, and Sun Valley Lanes in hosting this event.
John Lucido is my hero, and I tell you what, I've known John a long time. We've been not only competitors on the lanes against each other back in the day when we did a little more bowling than we do now, but John, through the Bowling Proprietors Association, just does a fantastic job here at Sun Valley Lanes. And when we, as a group of proprietors, started about 6 years ago, our trek to begin to make high school bowling a letter sport.
Great shot by Sierra Schaaf.
We asked John to be a part of this, and because we knew John's ability his attention to detail, his organizational skills, and just the way he does things is always top-notch, first class. And being around a few professional events in my life, Larry, this is just as well run as any professional bowling event you're going to see in the United States. What a shot there. Got a little altitude.
Taylor Kelly says she likes to keep everyone up when things look down, and it's exactly what she's doing. She is the motivator of this squad. We also want to say hello because we know listening is Neil Early, one of the other proprietors here at Sun Valley Lanes. Neil Early, health issues in the hospital. We certainly wish Neil the best. We miss you here at the Lanes this weekend, and we know you're watching, and thank you for everything you've done for high school bowling in the state of Nebraska.
It's a financial and a time investment for all proprietors. As with this sport as it's growing, the proprietors in Nebraska have made a pledge to not charge much, if at all, to any of these teams when it comes to practice or matches. The proprietors are basically giving their profit centers away to the high school teams for the long-term investment of having high school bowling be a letter sport. Great cover there.
Great shot. And Tiggany Jackson covers the 1-2-10.
Well, that got things going in a hurry there for the crowd.
Now Nicole Johnson.
Ooh.
And chops that spare. 3 off of the 5-6, or the 3-6 off the 5.
All right, 12-pin lead for the Lynx. North Star needs a strike to get back. Good shot.
And timely by Christy Barron. And you can see the level of excitement, level of intensity is ratcheted up several notches. Same shot she left last time.
Seen that left before. Yep. Just a matter of not getting the ball up to the pocket. On your approach and on your lanes are a series of rangefinders, and on the approach you have a series of dots down by your feet. With the leave like that, you'd want to move your feet a couple of boards to the right to create, and the same would apply there for Callie, that you would want to move your feet to the right a little bit to get more of a direct angle towards the pocket. And what that'll do is it'll bring the ball up towards the 1-3 pocket sooner. Now she'll go cross lane just as she did the time before for the spare. That ball's going to have to hook.
That time doesn't quite make it there.
Right in that center portion of the lane, from about the 15th board towards the 20th, there's a large concentration of oil.
Let's watch Callie Steyer this time, the junior from Raymond Central. She's got a little Michael Jordan-esque.
She's got the
tongue hang.
Got the tongue going when she's out there, just like Michael.
You don't get to see that.
There you go. She's gonna
hate us, isn't she?
She's gonna send some letters to your house there.
You don't get a chance to see that when everybody's behind the lanes bowling, but that shows an intenseness.
This is competition, and
That's
it's to the wall when you say that in bowling, meaning you leave it all out there on the lanes.
A tight match here. And the lefty Ashley Bonebright, their anchor. Is the highlight of her career. That was Caitlin Huggins, I'm sorry. Co-captain of the squad. Now Chelsea Miro.
Oh, man.
Nice adjustment, though, by Miro. You could tell she was looking for something on that last shot in the 10th frame when she left it wide. It looked like maybe either an area check or finding out where she could play, and a nice adjustment there to get the ball back to the pocket.
This young lady here, as a left-hander, has some throwback looks to the great Earl Anthony. Typically in bowling, you want your arm to be straight during the arm swing. She's got a little bit of a bend in her elbow like the great Earl Anthony had. Just does a great job with her spare game. The strikes will come if you can work on your spares.
There it is. So Miro covers that up.
All right, it's time for the Lynx here to get it into a different gear.
Now Ashley Bonebright. 2:45 left.
High game at 235 for Ashley with a 160 average. That's very good.
Well, I'm impressed with how fundamentally sound so many of these girls are.
It's a product of coaching, and I tell you what, another thing that John Lucido and his staff does right here at Sun Valley Lanes is they have a strong youth program. Really, the whole city of Lincoln, all the bowling centers in Lincoln. And, we shouldn't leave leave out our friend Bill Hoppy and his partners, Earl Kopp and Bob Davis at Hollywood Bowl. They hosted the qualifying for Class C and Class D yesterday. Did a great job, and it's great that the whole city of Lincoln, the local bowling associations, the proprietors, they all put their arms around high school bowling. And Larry, you could sell those lanes to the open public on a Saturday afternoon and make a little bit of money, but they are happy to give that to high school bowling to create bowlers for the future.
Well, 13-pin advantage for North Star will take a bit of a hit there on the count.
Just a little wide there.
Here's Taylor Callies.
Oh, that was a great
Rings
shot.
the 10.
She thought she had it there. She come trotting back on the approach like she had it. She has got to cover this spare. We've seen less errors as we've gone on through the day, as we've gone up in classes, but got to cover your spares. Spare here will give the Lynx a 6-pin lead.
Well, I know both of these coaches have spent time, especially Patty Meyer, in getting herself prepared to help coach youth bowlers. She was a member of the Dick Ricker Academy and spending time on honing her skills on becoming a better coach for these high school bowlers.
She's been involved in youth bowling a long time in Lincoln. Not saying Patty's old, but just another one on the long list of people that's created a lot of success stories down here.
Good high, leaves the 2-7. This is the first televised high school bowling championships in the nation. We're proud to bring it to you here on NET in cooperation with the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Certainly a great opportunity for not only the youth and the bowlers of Nebraska, but for everyone around the state.
Great shot.
To learn a little bit about bowling at the high school level.
Well, I tell you, the folks at NET have just been super cooperative, and I think, when we first started throwing out the idea of seeing if high school bowling was a viable television sport, I think there's some wide eyes here now because it's a great scene here, and it's been on television for over 50 years, Larry, in various forms and various places. So this game is getting even closer now.
A 2-pin lead for Lincoln High. Up by 2. North Star could take a lead with a double here. They're working on a strike. This is Callie Steyer.
Just a little too close to that middle portion of the lane. Ball never went into a roll. We've seen this 2-4-5 combination about a dozen times here in the last 6 frames, so must go direct at it.
Now Christine Foreman for the spare.
Wow.
Didn't get there.
About a 12-pin lead right now for North Star.
Could be a big swing right
can
here.
Set him up for the 10th frame here with a spare. It's got to get there.
Got to hook a lot, and it doesn't.
It's going to be just about tight going in. Big 10th frame here coming up.
Crossover and can't get the 5 out. Mixes them up. 5 didn't go. So now on the right lane, the anchor bowler for the Navigators, Chelsea Miro.
Wow, great release. Great ball reaction. Oh, she is just hit.
And got it.
Oh, it falls. I was just about to say she has hit the pocket so many times and has not caught a break.
The head
and
pin
she gets
sat
one.
there
and
and thought about it.
That's a big one because that puts them in the lead. Must spare here. It's got to hook a lot. Yeah.
Well, that does it. We are
needs 8 pins here on this ball to lock up game number 2 and to tie this match up. That's
great
funny.
shot.
Look at that smile.
Well, in bowling terms, that's what they say. That was a great pitch.
Yes, it was. Really great shot there. This is the first time we've been tied, except for that 2-2 match first thing this morning, Larry, with Class D. So
3 pins wraps it up for the Navigators here. Best Lincoln High can shoot is 142. That was close.
All right, good enough, though.
She got it. The 6 gives them 146. The best Lincoln High can do is 142. So the Navigators even things up 1 game apiece. Boy, and she needed those 3 pins now. Great finish by Ashley Bonebright, the sophomore. We talk about bowling growing across the U.S. at the high school level. 19 states across the U.S., including Iowa and Kansas, our neighbors, sanction bowling at the high school level. Recognized as a varsity letter sport. And of course, that's where the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation would like to see it go in Nebraska. And really, I think we all believe, including athletic directors that we speak to, Steve, believe it's just a matter of time before that happens. As you can see, the excitement and the intensity here at Sun Valley Lanes.
You can tell these two teams have faced each other a few times. They got the chance going back and forth. You know, Larry, when it comes to high school sports, you know, bowling is such a great option because A, there's obviously a boys and girls opportunity. B, the cost to the school is minimal compared to what you have in a football or a basketball program or maybe even baseball. Minimal travel, no field maintenance. The proprietors take care of the facilities, and you know, the interesting thing is in the last 10 years in high schools, bowling has been the fastest growing sport of all sports. More participants growing on a nationwide basis.
A nice crossover to open it up for North Star. Sierra Schaaf with the strike.
Well, we're tied at 1 here in the first frame, and Taylor Callie should just try and get the count here.
Here's Antigone Jackson. High game of 240. There's a 3.7 grade point average. And buries that shot.
Now she can play a little closer to the center of the lane because of her ball speed. She has a much slower ball speed than most of the girls. Well, the other girls, meaning that ball can play in that center part of the lane without losing a lot of its power to not being able to hook due to the oil. So, but just right down the middle, good shot, keeping it right around the pocket. Tough break there for Nicole Johnson.
North Star's opened up with 2 in a row. Can they make it 3? 2-4 left. And while the Gators have opened with 2 in a row, the Lynx have opened with 2 splits in a row. And a quick 20-pin advantage for the North Star.
Cross lane at the 2 and the 4. The ball's got to hook. Just barely
enough.
gets there.
Christine Foreman moved inside and slowed down a little bit and leaves the 2-pin. Maybe the move there is the other way.
Yeah, she should
Move
probably
right.
be a little further to the right, Larry. And Getting a little better angle in the pocket. Christine from the Lynx comes from a long line of family bowlers. Whole family's bowled for a long time. Plays the drum and the trumpet at school. Same would apply for Callie, too. They both need to take a couple boards of a step to the right.
I'm familiar with Christine's grandparents, Norm and Jean. They've been bowling forever in Lincoln.
Coming down to spare time now.
And a nice cover by Christine.
You know, missing your spares is like turnovers in football. It's like errors in baseball. You need to take care of the ball, take care of yourself, and by not giving an opportunity to the other team to take an advantage of an open frame. You're going to get your share of bad breaks with splits, but spares, like some of these easy ones, should be covered with no problem. That's a good shot.
And a good cover. Callie Steyer covers it up. And the Gators with a near 30-pin lead. In fact, 30 pins exactly through 3.
Let's talk about Caitlin Huggins there. She's playing out towards the left side of the lane as a left-hander. The far outside of the left side of the lane has a little more friction, less oil. The ball tends to hook a little more. She has consistently been high on the head pin now for the last several shots. What she needs to do is either increase her speed or move into the concentration of oil. Wow.
She just makes solid shot after solid shot.
Been in the pocket every shot since we turned the lights on, Larry.
Must cover here for Huggins. Hey, she avoids the chop and gets it.
9.5.
Huggins finished third on the all-tournament team, so she's a first-team all-tournament performer.
North Star began to pull away here. It's time for their money bowler, Ashley Bonebright, to bring it to the table.
Got a little wide. You can see from the reaction that she knew it immediately. Like maybe it dropped off her hand or she just missed a little right.
Well, I think a combination of both. Got a little fast with her feet. You know, and bowling's a timing sport too. You know, you have to be able to move and have timing, just like in timing you need for a good baseball swing, a good golf swing. Just got a little fast, got to the line in front of the ball. Ball comes off her hand early, goes to the right. That's got to get up to. Nope. Well, that's key pin count there. That's a fill of 5. Or a fill of 6, actually, after a spare. So cost them 10 pins in total pin count. Working on that spare, it's double almost. So North Star began to pull away. Time for Taylor Callies to...
Brooklyn, and she trips the 6 forward. And there's that bounce from Taylor Callies. Crossover strike, her second crossover strike this game. First one went Brooklyn as well. Oh, nice ball.
Good shot.
Yep. Great play by Nicole Johnson. Now Antigone Jackson won the Star City singles event. She's in marching band. And left the 5 pin. Trying to cover the 7's. Got to get out there. Looked like that was a timing issue. You talked about staying solid at the line and being solid. That was just a little off balance at the line, which can obviously throw off the trajectory of the shot. And that's got to move. So both teams opening the door a little bit there. Neither could capitalize. But still a commanding lead for North Star here in this game number 3. 58-pin lead. 142 to 84 through 7. All even at 1 apiece. Oh, can't get the 7 pin to go. Mixed them up a little. ball by Christy Barron. Boy, Christy 2 or 3 times on her questionnaire mentioned how much she appreciates the help of her mom. Says, wherever I want to go to bowl, my mom is there to take me. Sounds like so many parents who are taking kids all over to participate in bowling and go to tournaments and coaching and leagues.
Been there, done that. All right, Callie Steyer here needs to keep the pressure on. A double here will be daddy lockups.
What did you say?
Daddy lockups.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That is from the PBA tour from years ago. Billy Whaley, who is now passed on, had the job before Nelson Burton Jr., the color analyst, used to say that's daddy lockups.
Sounded like something out of Kingpin.
Now that's going to be enough. North Star's got this taken care of, Larry, so they'll have a 2-1 lead. And I think everybody may have thought coming into this match that maybe the Lynx might be the team that may have had the upper hand in this. I mean, North Star being a new school, also relatively new, and the Lynx have had their boys and girls teams in the state finals several times. So,
well, interesting you mentioned that because we do have one of the oldest schools in the state versus one of the newest schools in the state competing against each other. Lincoln High has been around longer than any school, certainly in Lincoln. And North Star is the newest high school out on North 27th in Lincoln. That chops the 7 off of the 4. And you are right, North Star has taken game number 3 to take a 2-1 lead after Lincoln High came out of the chute and won game number 1, 154-126.
Well, Chelsea Miro here has been in the pocket every shot.
And gets the 7 to trip again.
She's got no open frames. She's got 3 strikes and 3 spares, and she's hit that pocket every time. So that is why you put your anchor bowler in that 5 and 10 spot, bowler F. So you want them in the 10th frame to be able to bring you to an all-important double or whatever you need to get it done. Now, just watch her form from the front here. You'll see that her shoulders are out over the lane, but not way out over, but that 45-degree angle that Larry talked about at the release of the ball, just very good for balance. And she was just keeping it in the center of the lane there just to avoid a disaster.
It's a lot of work on her part to focus on the fundamental side of the game, but also a lot of work with some very good coaches. I know she's worked with Bill Straub and Paul Klipka, both coaches at the University of Nebraska. She's been to the UNL camp. She's worked with Jen Davis. Several other people. Rob Gottschall at Sun Valley Lanes has worked extensively with her. You can see how fundamentally sound she is.
Yeah. She's got Gottschall's physical game, but thank goodness it doesn't have his mental attitude.
She hits a little harder than Gottschall, I think.
She has down here in her bio that her best memory is none. But bowling is her life.
Yep.
And that's great. So. All right, the Lynx have got to reach down and find it because the momentum has definitely shifted towards North Star.
Well, advantage North Star, 1 win, and they are the state champs in Class A. Lincoln High will have to claw its way back into this. An exciting match here at Sun Valley Lanes between Lincoln High and North Star, and you see there the first 200-plus game of the afternoon as North Star puts a 2-0-2 on the board to the 131 for Lincoln High, but don't expect the Lynx to go away. This is a competitive team that has a lot of competitive fire. It should
Wouldn't be surprised to see it go 5, Larry. You know, you mentioned Bill Straub and Paul Klemp at the University of Nebraska. Yeah, as being a lifetime resident of the state of Nebraska, we've been so lucky to have the great athletic teams at the university down there. Of course, football. But then, of course, the volleyball team and the bowling program is a powerhouse, too. Well, that's probably not the way to start off the match. Right. Comes back with a what I do there look. So,
well, this is where you want to stomp on it a little bit.
Yeah, Taylor Callie's bowled a long time. Great fundamentals there. Great release by Taylor.
That's what you're looking for. You follow that up with something that can motivate your team and get them up, and that's exactly what Lincoln High needed.
Taylor's a girl of my own heart. Says she loves hockey. Well,
unfortunately, I saw that yesterday at the boys state high school tournament, double gutter.
Well, the pressure's on.
Yep.
The good news is North Star's got some room. You just need to sit Sierra down and tell her to relax and get up there in the 6th frame and take care of things.
Here's Antigone Jackson.
Very soft speed.
Leaves the 5-7.
Bad break there. Good news for her, though. She can just pretty much use her same target area for her first ball to pick up that 5-7. Cross lane at the 10. It's got a hook. Lynx can't afford any more open frames like that.
Well, being down 19 after one frame does not help the Gators.
Look at this shot, Larry.
Got a chance.
Oh, my.
Shook it.
Yeah.
Overcut it. You don't see that every day.
Good shot. Down 19, and, you know, that's insurmountable. It's early.
That needs to hook.
This young lady has another great physical game.
Very solid and trips the 4-pin forward.
What she does better than so far anybody that I've seen out here today is she keeps the ball what's called on line. She keeps it down the lane, not coming off her hand and looping out to the right where the ball has to struggle to recover, like right there. That's a good spare. By keeping it on line and going direct down the lane, the ball will save its energy towards going to the pocket. And every time she has hit the pocket, Christy Barron is struck. So sometimes your middle of the lineup, just like in baseball, you know, you have to. It's great to get hits from your cleanup hitter, but you got to get people on base.
Here's Callie Steyer. Wash out.
Saw her kind of hanging the ball there a little bit. Ball didn't come off her hand at the right time. Popped up off her hand before it landed on the lane surface, causing the ball to skid.
Yeah. Caitlin, I'm sorry,
Larry. I was just about to say the Lynx have got to have it now from their lefties. She moved inside, caught a little more oil.
Tried to kick that 8-pin back, but shook it a little bit. Caitlin Huggins. Callie Steyer will try to slide that head pin into the 10. So she'll move about 3 or 4 boards right on the lane.
Oh, good try.
Good effort.
This spare is important. These are spares that can't be missed any further. Time's running out for the Lynx, so this should just be just a couple boards to the right of her normal strike target. Down the lane. Very well done. Matter of fact, that wouldn't be a bad spot to stay on the approach for her first ball.
So Caitlin Huggins converts. And a 30-pin advantage for Lincoln High. Miro again.
Oh, if I was Bill Straub, I'd get that young lady's cell phone number on his Rolodex right now because she could be playing for the University of Nebraska. Very well done. Another great shot. Both those girls do a great job of keeping the ball on line with very less, or excuse me, with the least amount of what you call belly. Belly in bowling means when the ball comes off your hand, the ball, if you're a right-hander, the ball will skirt to the right. It will not go down the lane with the boards. With as slick and as much conditioners on the lanes today, you need as little head belly as possible. Now, when we get to the boys a little bit later, some of these guys have the revolutions and the arm strength where they can swing that ball out to the right and be able to get it back.
They beer gut it.
They do that.
It's different than belly, right?
Oh yeah, you're going to see some acts of sheer strength and power here a little bit later on.
Callie's comes up just a little light, leaves the 2-pin. Sierra Schaaf pulled it a little bit.
Well,
and struggling for North Star. Yep.
That's a byproduct of having a couple of the first shots that went into the right-hand gutter. And, you know, they've just got to hang in there. Let North Star back into it. Sierra just needs to take a breath and just relax and just go through the process of just like it's practice at home, which is here at Sun Valley Lanes.
Much better
good shot.
And good conversion.
That'll get it going.
Schaaf covers the spare.
A little more speed this time.
And a great ball by Nicole Johnson.
She was a little slow on the speed the last couple shots, Larry, which caused that ball to go high, and at a little extra speed kept the ball on line, on target.
About a 17-pin lead for Lincoln High.
Another 2-4-5.
Make it 20 even. Lincoln High up by 20 and can really put the pressure on with a double here. Oh, and a nice ball.
That's got a hook.
And a nice cover. And Tiggany Jackson with the spare. That'll bring up Christy Barron for the Navigators. But first, Christine Foreman to cover the 10. Hang on.
Oh,
just enough lane.
When you're happy to make sure that lane is regulation length, an inch shorter it would have been, or an inch longer would have been in the gutter. This young lady, Christy Barron, last 5 frames, 4 strikes and 1 spare. She is hot.
And she's still in.
Make that 5-1, give her the Tiger Woods fist pump there. That's 5 out of 6 strikes for Christy Barron.
Right, still 20 down is North Star. They need to string some strikes to get back in it.
A little more speed, too, there. Better shot.
That's Caitlin Huggins yesterday. In the qualifying, shot 190, 169, 149 for a 5.08. Finished third in the all-tournament standings. So she was first team all-tournament.
3.9 GPA, high game of 234. North Star needs to climb back in right now with Callie Steyer. It's got a hook. It's starting to look more and more like it's going to be all even here.
Yep. Still a 20-pin advantage for the Lynx, and as long as Lincoln High can stay clean in the next 2 frames. And there's 1/2 of it. Lincoln High pacing at 173.
This is
164 is the best North Star can do if they pick up the spare and strike out.
Sorry about that, Larry. Needs to have a run at this. That's going to pretty much
that will seal it.
Pretty much do it for Lincoln High. It's going to be 2-2. We're going to 5 games here for the Class A state championship. This is how it should be.
So they'll wrap things up here in the 10th. Great ball by Ashley Bonebright. Well, 235 is certainly a high game for Ashley, but as solid as that game is, you're almost surprised she hasn't knocked off a 250 at some point in her career. And another great shot there by Miro. And Bonebright again, coming up a little light. But knew it didn't matter. And here's Miro again in the 10th. Another nice shot. Can she get that
man.
7 out? No.
Great shot. Yeah, she just needs to stay lined up. Stay lined up, and
that's Megan Foss into the game, late in the game, to be able to throw a shot in a state championship. That's certainly a thrill for the junior. Megan Foss new this year to bowling.
Baker bowling, you can substitute in and out, limit of 2 per game. You never know. Someone could get injured. Someone could have a tough time. Got to have somebody ready to go, just like in any other sport.
We are all even at 2. Lincoln High and the Lincoln North Star Navigators. The state championship will be decided in this game, and this place will get loud.
There we go.
171-140, the score there in the 4th game.
And who said bowling's not a spectator sport, Larry?
Not me.
This is an awesome sight. It's now almost standing room only in here, and 2 of Lincoln's most popular schools going at it here. Taylor Callie's their leadoff bowler, and she's made great shots now. The last couple times up, needs to just redo it. There's another one. Oh, bad break. It's all right. She needs to get 1 pin.
Nice shot and an unfortunate break. That's just a little bit high, leaves the 4-9.
Yeah, the ball drives. Instead of the ball taking out the 9 pin, the ball goes in front of it.
Yeah, first 15.
Much better shot there.
Here's Sierra Schaefer. Opposite way and leaves something manageable.
It's a good confidence sign of her head coach, Bob Coram. Sarah had a bad start to that 3rd game, leaves her in. She's been there all year for him. Taylor going cross lane at the 4-9. Smart move, get the 1 pin.
So the Navigators can take the early lead here in the 5th and final game. And a good cover.
Looks a little happier.
Oh, Sierra Schaefer gives them that lead. Now Nicole Johnson, the lefty, up in the lane quickly. And a great shot by Johnson, ringing 7.
You are right, Larry. That was a great shot. That was her best one. Just one of those things where one of the breaks of bowling, it's like rimming out a putt in golf. Now she's got to come back. She's got to pick this up now. No more room for errors.
Tries to get that 5 pin out of there, but it's going to stand, and she left herself a small split. Needs a hook.
You know, Larry, one of the things about bowling, especially here maybe in the last 10 to 15 years with the invention of urethane and resin bowling balls, there's been a lot of focus on how hard the pins fly when you throw your strike ball, because these balls hook and are so powerful, they send pins flying everywhere. And what's suffered is the people's spare games, the fundamentals of picking up spares and all that. And the consistent bowlers you're going to see around the state and on the PBA Tour, the Walter Ray Williamses, the Chris Barneses, the Norm Dukes, you don't see them miss spares. And you know, corner pin spares at this level of high school bowling, you need to make those spares. And it's just a product of the industry, but got to get it done.
Well, here's a hot bowler for the North Stars, and again, can't trip the 4 this time.
She's 5 out of 6 before that shot. Went right in the pocket. Nine-pin lead for North Star right now, going into frame 3.
Needs to hook.
Larry, if you had to ask me, I think the Lynx's inability to convert some of these spares has given a lot of advantage to North Star here over the course of the entire 4 games we bowled.
Well, 3 straight opens to open up the 5th and final game.
That's got a hook.
And it does just enough.
Comes back and gives her teammates the never a doubt look.
So a 20-point advantage now for North Star.
Let's see if Caitlin Huggins can keep the speed up. Every time she's gotten soft, the ball's hooked a little early. That's a good shot. Very good. That's her
and
first
that
strike.
6 pin comes forward.
Just had to get her speed up a little bit there to get the ball down the lane, and that's exactly what she did. All right.
So Callie Steyer now.
She's high average on the team at 183. 254 high game, 600 high series. It's time for her to step up. Good shot.
Boy, the last couple of shots, she'd come in light and the ball hadn't reacted. She was much more direct there. Made a nice move. Here's Ashley Bonebright. And that coming in just a little light. The Gators still enjoying that 20 pin advantage.
Cross lane at the 4. Oh, boy. North Star still with a 10-pin lead.
Had a good, yep.
Keeps the links there, Larry. Sorry about that. Keeps the links right in it. Keeps momentum close. You're halfway through here, the final game for the state championship, and you want to keep Mighty Mo on your side if you can. Here's their money bowler right here. That's the first time she's missed the pocket all afternoon. I think she had a fill ball in there where she experimented a little bit, but another 2-4-5 combination.
$17-pin lead for North Star through 4 frames. Miro.
Well done. Oh, just a bad break at the end there. You know, she kind of slowed down just a little bit. The ball speed was a little slower than what she's done for her first shots. And that caused that ball to hook just enough at the end there to chop the 3 off the 5, or excuse me, the 2 off the 5. Well, if Taylor Callies is the cheerleader of the team, she needs to get everybody going right here.
Comes in a little bit light.
She's a little fast at her feet there. Her feet got ahead of her. She got to the foul line before the ball. When we say that, that means that she ends up the ball and your sliding foot should come together at approximately the same time at the foul line. She was there a little ahead of it, caused the ball to come up light.
Gators up by 10.
Need a spare here for the Lynx.
Had a good cover. Nice cover by Callies, and now she's trying to get the Lynx into it. Sierra Schaaf with her last shot of this match. Covers the spare, barring a...
She made a nice recovery there after that disastrous first frame in the prior game. Made a nice recovery there, and it's thrown some good shots. That's a little wide.
Down by 10, and the nerves start to get to you a little bit when it gets tight like this.
This is right down to the wire.
3 to 4 frames away from crowning a state champ in Class A, and you're out there on the lane with TV cameras pointing in your face and the state title on the line.
And that's what you don't want to see is the difficult spares and splits like that. You just don't want to see that, but you got to make them now. Got to cover your spares like this one.
And got it.
Wow.
Head pin straight back and took out the 6.
It's going to put the Lynx in the lead here unless North Star can cover this washout spare. The washout, they call it, it's the 1, 2, 4, and 10. Ball needs to send the head pin to the right.
Well, that will tighten things up considerably. With a strike, Lincoln High would take a 1-pin lead. Christine Foreman on the lane.
And you go back and talk about all those single pin spares that get missed. It's coming down to it now where those are all very important, and that's a bad break for the Lady Lynx is 1, 2, 4, and 9 is not an easy spare combination.
So after that shot, as you saw Patty Meyer chatting it over with Christine.
Christy Barron been there for him. And she get the scout.
Christy Barron with the messenger.
Sends the messenger or the scout across the pin deck. That's when the pin goes off the kickback and goes all the way to the other side of the lane to take out an extra pin.
Big shot for the Navigators. A bigger shot for the Lynx here. Straight back.
Very good.
Great cover. Nice shot by Christine and keeps the Lynx in it. It's a 3-pin advantage for North Star. Not only is it going down to the last game, it's going down to the last couple of frames.
Well, you've got Callie Steyer coming up with a strike working. A double will increase that lead to 13 pins and possibly more. Looks good.
And she carries. Nice mixer, and they're excited in Gatorland.
That's off about 27th Street, right, Larry?
That's right.
Didn't know if they're cheering in Florida or not, but it's time.
It's not that far south.
Yeah. All right, it's time for Caitlin Huggins here to even the match. Better speed. Just pulled it a little off her hand. Still.
Well, now both teams will be counting on their anchors to put them back in it or close things out. And a strike here by Miro. And that would do it.
Mark here is going to lock it up. Well,
gets it a little wide.
And that was the spare that she missed the frame before, the last time she was up. And she has just been right on the mark all afternoon. But it starts right here by covering this spare. Still about a 10-pin lead for North Star.
Lincoln High still with a chance if they can convert the spare, and they do.
Wow.
And they do. 163 is the best that Lincoln High can shoot. 164 if she can pick up the spare and strike. So Miro can shut out Lincoln High with a spare and then a strike.
Got to pick this up first. Not an easy spare. Oh, wow. She just about, look at this. She exhaled there.
You saw the reaction.
She thought she chopped it again. And now, here's what has to happen. Lincoln High has got to double.
So Ashley Bonebright must strike here, or the Gators are state champs.
It's got a hook.
It's there. Kick it out.
Oh, man, look at that.
What a shot by Ashley Bonebright. But Chelsea Miro with a chance to answer. A strike here, and Miro shuts out Lincoln High.
State championship ball right here.
Is it there?
Still forces Lincoln High to strike on this ball.
So here's the situation. 162 the score for North Star. With 2 more strikes, Ashley Bonebright can give Lincoln High a 163 and win the state title by 1 pin. She needs this one. It's Brooklyn. But she tripped the 6 forward. What a shot!
All right, Larry, this is the excitement we were looking for. Here's the story right here. A strike by Ashley Bonebright, and the Lady Lynx win it all. 9 pins, and we have a tie. Which we haven't quite figured out what happens if we have a tie, have we, Larry?
Well, that's where I would talk to the commissioner.
Yeah, we'll get Lucido up here.
I'm sure it's a roll-off of some sort.
So a strike and it's a win. 9, it's a tie. 8 or less, and North Star is your state champion.
The state title on the line on this shot.
That looks good.
Good shot by Bonebright.
Oh, they lose by 1.
North Star wins it. Oh, the heartbreak.
You know, Larry,
for Lincoln High.
Off her hand, it looked like it
Great
was money.
Shot. Yep.
And it looked like she just might have got a little fast, just a little bit more speed, and ball just didn't make it to the pocket. But wow, you know, that's That's like a last-second basket.
Oh.
Right at the end. Great job by both teams. Fantastic bowling. There's some serious talent on both those teams.
Well, that's as good a match as we've had in the history of the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation Championships. What a finish by Lincoln High and Lincoln North Star. And the Gators come out on top, 3-2. We'll be back for the medal and the trophy presentation.
Brought to you in part by the Ellen and Marcia Baer Foundation and by the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation, encouraging high schools to sanction the sport of bowling across Nebraska.
Programming provided by Nebraska Public Power District. Champions rely on strategy and talent. When challenged, performance must be strong. Goals must be clear. Commitment is everything. The Nebraska Public Power District applauds every contestant who practices with passion and fights for the win. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us. Together with your local public power utility.
This program is brought to you by the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff. Soy biodiesel is a soy-based, clean-burning, renewable fuel that can be blended with petroleum diesel to reduce America's dependence on foreign oil. Soy biodiesel, making a difference for Nebraska's soybean farmers and you.
This is Terry Gross, the host of Fresh Air on NET Radio. You can learn a lot about interviewing by the things that go wrong. That's why I'll play excerpts of interviews that did not go well, along with a few that did, when I come to Lincoln's Pershing Auditorium on April 10th. It's a benefit for NET Radio and TV. After I talk about my adventures hosting Fresh Air, I'll answer your questions. For tickets, call 402-441-7766.
Don't miss the 2007 Nebraska High School Swimming and Diving Championships this Saturday afternoon at noon Central Time. Watch the best live on NET1 and NET-HD, Nebraska's home for sports.
And welcome back to Lincoln, Nebraska, Sun Valley Lanes, the Class A state championship in the books. The Lincoln High North Stars in 5 games over Lincoln High, 162-160. A thriller for the Stars, a heartbreaker for the Lynx. Craig Carver is our PA announcer, and he has the presentation of the trophy.
All right, let's hear it once again for the Lincoln High Lynx and the Lincoln North Star Gators. And now the medal and trophy presentations. First, the 2007 Class A Girls State Runner-Up Lincoln High Lynx. Coaches Patty Meyer, Sarah Russo. Megan Foss. Nicole Johnson. Ashley Bonebright. Caitlin Huggins. Taylor Callies. Christine Foreman. Congratulations to Lincoln High, your 2007 state runner-ups. And now your 2007 state champion, Lincoln North Star Gators. Coaches Bob and Vicki Coram. Tiffany Holtz. Sierra Codwell. Sierra Shea. Antigone Johnson. Christy Barron. Junior Captain Chelsea Miro. And Callie Steyer. Congratulations to the 2007 Girls Class A State Champion Lincoln North Star Gators. Girls, here's your trophy. Congratulations.
And congratulations to the Gators, the Class A State champions. And what a day we've had. Steve Simpek with 4 champions being crowned on the girls' side. Of course, we head back early this morning. And girls' Class D, it was McCool Junction over Humphrey St. Francis. Elkhorn Valley took on the state championship in Class C. In B, it was Lexington over Alliance. And then the match of the day, just finishing up, North Star over Lincoln High.
Well, you can definitely say high school bowling's on the rise. That last match with Lincoln High and North Star comes down to the last ball, the last pin, and Larry, it's been a great day. We've had great crowds here, and once again, high school bowling is just continuing to grow in popularity across the state, and some great young talent. Head coach Bill Straub, the University of Nebraska, has some great talent to look forward to in the future for his Lady Cornhuskers.
Well, it's been a great afternoon and evening of high school bowling. Congratulations to all the champions. We hope to see you back here next year. For Steve Simpek and the entire NET crew, I'm Larry Putney. Thanks very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Coverage of the Nebraska State High School Bowling Championships is made possible in part by the Nebraska Public Power District, NPPD, always there when you need us. The Nebraska Soybean Board, encouraging the use of renewable biodiesel fuels for a healthier environment. For information, nesoybeans.unl.edu. And by the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation, NHSBF, promoting bowling across the state of Nebraska. To order a DVD copy of either the girls' or boys' Nebraska State High School Bowling Championships, call toll-free 800-868-1868 or visit the NET web store at netnebraska.org. Click on Shop NET.
Hi, I'm Ken Burns. Public television has made a difference in my life for as long as I can remember. It's been the best place to celebrate the stories that unite us all, the stories of America. That's why I support PBS, and I hope you will too. Thank you.